Are we ready? Hope Dave's back. Okay, so when you can read, what can you do with that? If you can read, what can you do when you can read?
I can learn how to sail a boat.
Yeah.
I get smart.
Yeah. Anything else?
I'll go to college.
Go to college.
I obey the traffic sign.
Oh, especially when I'm driving with her. Yeah, that's right. Well, you know, for me, when I can read a story. And the thing that I love the most is to share that story with somebody else. And that's what I'm going to do today. So, can I tell you a story?
Yes,
Alright. So this story takes place a long time ago. And it's kind of a silly story to tell. So if I'm going to be silly, you're all going to be silly too. So this story has 3 animals in it. The first animal is a tiger. Now I want you to think, oh, tiger, scary, really scary. And when you look at a tiger, what do you see? Are they short? Fangs. And what else they might have?
Claws.
Right. So I want you to think of your long teeth and your claws, and I want you to give me your scariest snarl, not a roar, your scariest, most quiet snarl ever. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, you know, oh wow.
Sorry. I missed the class carrier.
Okay, we gotta try this again. Remember, scary, snarl, quiet. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, the second animal in this story is a cow. Now, let's see. Let's say you're in the store with your tutu or your uncle, and on the shelf you see something that you have wanted forever and ever. And there's only one left on the shelf. It's probably the only one left on the island. And who can buy that for you? Your tutu or your uncle. Now you've got to think, oh, how will I convey my desire for this to my uncle? The problem is, you're a cow. You can only use one word, and that word is moo. Okay, so when I go like this, make my horns, you have to give me your most pleading, begging moo ever. Ready? 1, 2, 3. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. Okay, I was going to have you practice again, but you don't need to. That was good. Okay, the third animal in the story is a rooster. Now this should be pretty easy, because this rooster is always happy, always full of life, and when he flaps his wings, what is he going to say? But wow, that would just put anybody to sleep. Come on, happy, you know, it's morning. So, 1, 2, 3. Okay, you got it. Those are 3 animals. Remember, and what are they? There's the tiger, cow. Okay. Whew. Now we better get started with this story. Now this story takes place a really, really, really long time ago, when the world was very different than it is today. Little things were different. So for instance, the rooster. And back then, the rooster didn't have this comb, this pointy red thing on his head. In those days, the roosters were bald. But big things were different. Up in the sky, there wasn't 7 suns. There wasn't a sun up in the sky. There were 7 baby suns in the sky. So this particular story takes place in a little farming village way up in the mountains. And the village farmers were so happy because they had, how many? 7 baby sons. Which, do you think that helped make everything grow?
Yeah.
But every year, the sons had a birthday. And every birthday, they got a little bigger. And next birthday, they got bigger, and bigger, and bigger until they were teenage suns. And, ooh, you know, it was, thank you, Carly, it was hot. And the plants, the crops didn't like that. Everything was dying. So the villagers had to get together and say, oh, what are we going to do? It's too hot to grow anything. So they thought that they couldn't think of anything until one person says, well, you know what? We should just shoot the suns out of the sky. Well, nobody came up with an idea that was any better. So they called out to everyone in the surrounding villages, send us your best bow and arrow people. Come to the village square next week, and we'll have a contest to see who can shoot the suns out of the sky. Next week, all of these people line up, men, women, they all bring their bows and arrows. They line up, look up at the suns. They're confident. One of them are going to do it. Takes an arrow out. Oh, as far back as he can, and boom! The arrow shoots up in the sky, right towards the sun, and guess what happens?
Nothing.
That's right. You really thought the sun would go out? The next person, boom! Nothing. Everybody's looking up. Oh, there's still 7 suns up in the sky. Except for one little girl among all these people. She's looking down at the ground, and on the ground there's a little puddle of water. She looks in the puddle, and she sees the reflection of 7 suns. So she looks up, she looks down, she looks down. She goes over and picks up a stick. Bam! Right into one of the suns. And the sun goes out. But everybody's looking up and says, oh, wait, one went out. What? She takes, boom! Another one goes out. Then people notice the little girl. Hey, it's her! Then they all start clapping. Yeah, do it again, do it. Boom! Third, boom! Fourth, boom! Fifth, boom! Sixth! Now there's only one sun left in the sky. Now that sun up in the sky is looking around saying, wait, what's happened to all my siblings? I better get out of here. So that sun comes out of the sky and flies into a cave at the top of the mountain. And all of a sudden, the sky is dark and it's cool. And everybody says, that night, everybody can sleep because it's cool. Next morning, it's still cool, but it's dark. The next day, it's still dark. The day after that, it's still dark. And now the farmers are thinking, maybe that wasn't the best idea. We need to get the sun to come out. But how are we going to do that? The sun knows it was us. I know what. We need to scare the sun out of the cave. And so who do they call? The tiger. So the tiger walks up, stands in front of the cave, looks in the cave, and it's completely dark. The tiger takes a big chest full of air and goes 1, 2, 3. Looks into the cave. Dark. Tiger says, oh, not scary enough. So it tries again. 1, 2, 3. Completely dark. Oh. And then the tiger hears from inside the cave, go away, you're not scaring me. And the tiger walks back, a failure. The farmers think, oh, another bad decision. What are we gonna do now? I know, we need to beg the sun to come out. So who do they send up? The cow. The cow charges up, stands in front of the cave, looks inside, all dark. The cow takes a big chest full of air and thinks the most pleading, saddest, begging thoughts ever and goes 1, 2, 3. Looks in the cave. Dark. Okay, not sad enough. Thinks again. 1, 2, 3. Looks in the cave. And then the cow hears, go away, you're not moving me, my heart. I'm staying here. Oh, the cow walks back down, a failure. Now the villagers don't really know what to do. They're all just scratching their heads. Well, meanwhile, all this happening, they see the rooster. The rooster's watching all this and says, the rooster knows what to do. Rooster struts up to the front of the cave, looks in, completely dark, takes a big chestful of air and goes. Looks in the cave. There is a little tiny dot of light at the back of the cave. Oh. Thinks again. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And the dot starts to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger as the dot approaches the rooster. And before he knows it, the sun is standing right in front of the rooster. Oh, rooster, was that you? That was the most beautiful song I've ever heard. Oh, I feel so much better. I tell you what, if you promise to sing to me every morning when I rise up in the mountains, I will go back in the sky. And of course the rooster says, of course, yes, I'd be happy to. But before the sun leaves, the sun breaks off a little tiny edge of itself and puts it on the top of the rooster's head and then goes up in the sky. And ever since then, every morning when the sun rises up, it is greeted by a cock-a-doodle-doo. And that's the story of how the rooster got his crown.
Oh.